Good evening, everyone. My name is Kafui Doris Ansenivu. I am the founder of Kraado and the product lead. I am here with Stefan, one of the community managers, Stefan Osei, and Samira, Andrew, and others. Those of you who are watching out here, we are happy to bring you Andrew Smith, who is an experienced software developer. He's had over 10 years of experience working in various levels in international level and local in the local landscape as well. He has done work for big corporations. He's going to say a bit more about himself in a minute. But today's topic is boosting software developer skills. And you beginners out there and those of you who have already done some things who get to learn from Andrew. He will share some tips, some tricks, and some insider knowledge. So just hang on and enjoy the presentation and send your questions later on. Andrew has joined Crado as a coach, and there's going to be a fun couple of months ahead of us. So sit tight and listen. Andrew, I don't want to talk about Crado because we've already done that. But so as you read the screen, you get to see what Crado is about. We want to cap it at a very short period of time. So Andrew, please tell us about yourself and why you are here and why you joined Crado as a coach. Andrew, sorry. I'm seeing
Hey,
moving to
sorry, I was trying to get my screen share set up. So yeah, as Kafui mentioned earlier, I'm Andrew Smith. I'm a web developer. Well, I guess my role right now is a full stack developer. I've worked in various projects. One of the reasons why I joined Kratos was that Kafui reached out to me and she said this is her little project that she's working on, and she wanted to know if I wanted to be involved because I've always been involved with the tech ecosystem here in Ghana, and I thought it was a good opportunity to help others who are like me, who were what like when I was coming up, someone to be able to motivate you and direct you, and I thought it would be good to jump onto the platform and help out. So a little bit more about me. Originally from Jamaica. I lived there till I was 16, moved to the UK, spent 16 years there, and now I'm in Ghana. I think this is like the fifth year, so 5 years here. I've worked in various companies. I've worked for brands like Cadbury, like HSBC, John Lewis. I worked in Budweiser projects, big and small projects. I've worked in projects here in Ghana. The one that I'm known from my portfolio would be the Nyahu Medical Hospital website. So I just want to bring you through a small presentation. Actually, fun fact about me, something I forgot to mention. So yeah, before doing web development, I was actually into acting, and I did a theater performance once. So that was kind of like the career path I was kind of heading to at one point, but hey, that didn't work out. So now I'm a developer. So yeah, also a core contributor to a PHP framework called Slim. It's really small framework, and I do help out in that because I really like contributing to open source projects. So let's move on to today's presentation. So how to improve your skills as a developer. I've listed out a number of points that we'll cover, and yeah, we're just going to try and keep it brief because I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's move along. So soft skills. I think soft skills are one of those set of skills that every person needs, whether you're a developer or not. I think you need to have soft skills in life. I think you need to know how to communicate well with someone else and how to, even not just verbal communication, but written communication as well, to be able to be clear and concise in what you're saying to someone and have empathy and, just being a good person. I mean, someone would probably ask, what's a good person? I think we all have a good enough definition of what a good person should be. So we'll go from there. But yeah, this is essential for every job that you get into. You need to have soft skills. Do coding challenges, right? These things help you as a person. It helps you think through problem solving. It helps you, learn new ways of solving a problem. Even if you're new or just a student, it will make it more clearer as you're learning things. So do a lot of coding challenges. Be willing to learn. I think you have to be willing to learn something new at all times. In life, we learn every single day. Something that you didn't know yesterday, you learn about today. So just always be willing to learn stuff, be willing to learn more, and put yourself out there. In web development, tools change regularly. So you have to be learning at all times. For instance, front-end development, a lot of these software technology changes as the months go by. So you need to learn all these stuff. Be more than just a coder. I think for me, I always say that coding is normally the easiest part of this whole tech thing when it comes onto tech. Because writing the code, you just learn the syntax, you learn the different, logic statements, and, it's easy enough to write that code. But be more than a coder. Be able to think through a problem before even starting to write code. Be able to write out in writing what it is you're trying to solve, the steps that you'll take to solve it, and go about it that way. Something I want to add to that is be proactive in your job. Don't just be reactive, because sometimes we tend to wait on someone to tell us what to do rather than us ourselves being proactive and going at doing something or asking what should be done. So be proactive in your job. Know you are only a part of the vehicle. You're only a part. It's not just developers who make a project successful. So just know that you're only part of that vehicle. So whenever you're working on a project, understand and know that it's not just you. It's you and everyone else in the team. Because in a team, we have designers, we have copywriters, we have managers, account managers, we have project managers. We have many more people who are contributing to get this project to be successful. So just know that you are the only part of that vehicle. Ask questions. You must ask questions. You must be inquisitive enough to ask plenty of questions whenever you're working on a project. Because if you don't ask questions, you won't know the answers to certain things, right? So always ask questions. Ask even more questions. Sometimes you might think that, if I ask this question, it's going to look like I'm not at the level that people think I am at, or it might sound silly or it might sound dumb. No, always ask questions. It shows that there is space for you to grow. There's things that you don't know that you want to know. And during stand-ups or during project planning, when you ask these questions, it gives someone else in the team a chance to answer that question or to help you in that part that you are not sure about. So ask plenty of questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Learn to say, I don't know, but I can research it, right? Learn to say you don't know stuff, because it's not everything that one person will know. So just learn to say that I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that, but I can look into it, I can research it, because it makes it more clear for everyone in the team that this is a new avenue we're stepping into, and the knowledge isn't currently within the team, or this person doesn't have that knowledge. So then they can work out, how do we go about it? Maybe we need to allocate more time for research and so forth. So do say you don't know if you don't know something. Don't be hyped. Don't be wowed by the hype, right? Because there's a lot of new things coming out daily. There's always a new framework, a new programming language, a new library, a new orchestration platform. There's always something new. But don't let the hype of that get you to switch from what you're doing now to be doing something else. So let's say you're working on a project, you're 50% done with the project. Don't let some new technology that come out just blow your mind so much that you decide that, you know what, I'm going to throw away this project and I'm going to start over in this new technology. Don't. It's fine learning these new technologies, but don't decide on a whim that, okay, I'm just gonna jump into doing that right now while you're working on a project. Networking. This is very important. I think networking is really, really important because you get to meet like-minded people and you get to share ideas amongst people like yourself. I mean, even this now, me being a mentor in Kraado, right? It's through me meeting with Kafui some years back and we kept in touch. So learn to network, learn to know people, learn to, build a network of people who you can help and they can help you. You can share knowledge amongst yourselves. And that was it, short and sweet. This is my platform that I mainly talk on, chat on out here in Ghana. It's called DevCongress. We're a small community of developers, mainly developers, that we share ideas and we help each other solving problems. Join the platform if you want to talk more, or also join Kraado as a student, and then you'll have me as a mentor. Here's my contact details. If you need to reach out to me, I'm on Twitter and I'm on GitHub. Thank you for coming to this presentation. And if you have any questions, let me hear.
All right, that was a great submission. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us, sharing all that experience that you've gathered over the years, Andrew. We now want to transition into the next segment, which is the Q&A. And we have loads of questions for you. Obviously, we cannot ask all of them. So we're going to narrow it down to about 5, 10, and 5, maybe. Then the live audience, which is Samira and Andrew and Stefan, can ask you some other questions. So let's go straight into it. Can you please stop presenting so I can pull up the questions?
Yep.
Thank you.
There we go.
Okay. It's coming right up. All right. So you're back again. You just heard Andrew Smith, and the Q&A is, we start with Annette. Annette is a community member. Her question goes, how has your journey been so far? And yeah, so please go on.
Yeah, I think it's been good. I have no complaints. There has been times where, finding work has been a bit difficult, but as I said, once you build a network of friends, that becomes a lot easier. And yeah, I think so far there isn't that much complaint. It's just that you constantly keep on learning. So yeah, it's been good.
Okay. I have a question to that about your journey, right? Do you think being a freelancer versus working for a corporation, which one was the sweetest spot for you?
That's a good question. I think it would all depend on the times, right? It depended on where I was at the time, what I was doing at the time. I think for family stability, it normally makes more sense to be working for a company, full time, than being a freelancer. So yeah, I think it depends. I don't know if that answered the question clearly enough, or if you want.
Yeah, that's okay. That's it. I like the answer. Okay, the next question is from Boba Laska. Boba Laska asked 2 questions: how you tackled whether you've ever had imposter syndrome, how you dealt with it, how do you balance programming and social life? You know how there's always this saying that programmers tend not to have any social life. Do you think it's true? And if not, how do you balance? Yes.
Yeah, the social life thing, I don't know. I don't think I have a social life of such. I'll go out to meetups, like tech meetups and so on. Once in a while, I'll hang out with some of the guys that I've met through tech meetups. So it's, I don't really have social life as such. I'd say outside of work, I'll probably play some games, or I like carpentry work, so I'll go outside and do some carpentry work. The second question about how do you deal with imposter syndrome? I think that just requires taking some break. For me, whenever it's happened, my mind can't focus. I can't get things done. I'll go outside, get my carpentry tool, and start doing some carpentry work just to get my mind off the computer and programming. So it's just, for me personally, taking a break has helped.
Okay. And you think being a programmer is like, is what you think is the right choice you've made so far in your life?
Yeah, I think it has. But if I had enough money, I'll just be a carpenter. I'll stop writing code.
I think that there's an institution like that. I'll find them and I'll DM you privately
Yeah,
so that you can join them and be part of their group or something.
yeah.
Okay. And the next question is from Robert. Wow, three of them. One, how best should I start learning to become at least a medium stack developer? What web languages should I start learning from? And with consistent learning and practicing, how many years will it take me to develop something commercial? You
So
answer them the way you want.
yeah, I'll answer them in the same order. So how best how best should I start learning to become a medium? I don't even know what medium stack developer is, but I guess that's somewhere between full stack and no stack. So yeah, I don't know. I'd say get on, start building projects, start working on stuff yourself, start building a portfolio website. You know how to go about this. There's plenty of resources available online. When I started, it was just all textbooks. We couldn't find a lot of stuff online. But now there's so many resources online to learn stuff. You have this guy named Wes Bus. He has a whole 30 videos of tutorial for JavaScript called JavaScript 30, and it's all free. There's CSS tricks. There's Mozilla MDN. There's plenty of places online you can learn from. There's also what's called Code Academy, I think it's called.
Yes.
That's also free, right? So you can go through the curriculum on there and learn stuff starting from there. So yeah, what web language should I start learning? That depends on what you want to do. And your demographic of where you are and how it's used. I think out here in Ghana, what I've seen mostly used is Python, Ruby, PHP, and like the bigger companies, the corporate companies, they seem to be using Java or .NET. So it will depend on what you want to do. But just find one that's that you resonate with and that there's job availability, and learn that one and stick to it. Don't jump around when you start learning how to program. Just stick to one language. Learn, because once you learn the basics and all of the syntax and stuff, it's easy to transition to a next language. So just learn that first. With consistent learning and practicing, how many years will it take for me to develop something commercial? It depends on you, the individual. I've seen people who've learned in 6 months and have built stuff already. I've seen people who learned in a year. You know, it depends on you, the individual. There's no set time frame for you to be able to build something commercial. It's down to you how well you progress with your work. I think a good way to show that you're ready to work on commercial project is to put your work out there. I mean, even if you don't think it's the best, put it out there, get feedback, get people to help you with, you know, how you could better it. Just put it out there so that people can see it. Yeah.
Okay. The last question. I have a question too. The last question. It's about, at what point can you call yourself a developer? Is it when you've done your first Hello World app, or when you've moved beyond Hello World and you've done some to-do list app? What point can you comfortably put on your CV or LinkedIn that you're a developer?
The point where you feel comfortable.
Oh,
I think at the point where you feel comfortable calling yourself a developer. But I'll add a but in there. Don't just write a hello world and then go, hey, I'm a developer. I mean, try and develop something more full, something where you can actually move about, even if it's just a 3-page website where you can click through the links and get from A to B. It doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look nice, as long as it's navigatable, and accessible. That's all it is. Just make that, and yeah, you can start calling yourself a developer.
Okay. Then we have Daniel. Daniel says, what keeps you going as a software developer? I don't know what the context is, but so feel free to answer how you understood it.
Yeah, I like this question. What keeps you going as a software developer? Money. Money. That's the first thing. Money. I think besides money is I like learning new things. I like sharing knowledge with other people. A lot of things that I do is in the open source space as well. So I like working on open source project. I like helping out people in open source communities. So that's what keeps me going a lot of the times. Because yeah, money is nice and well, but there is a point where even money won't keep you going. So you have to find something. As I said, I like sharing knowledge with people, and I like learning from other people. So that's why I keep going as a software developer.
Okay. And that was it. Those were the questions from our community members who were not able to attend the event. I will move straight to the people who are in-house, people who are listening to us right now live, and ask if they have any questions. I think Samira has plenty questions, and Stefan. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. No, I'll keep sharing my screen. Let me just move to the beginning right here.
What did Samira say in the chat? She said that no, she don't have any questions. Is that true?
She cannot say she doesn't have any questions. Stefan, I know you're not a developer. Okay, Stefan raised his hand, so yeah.
Okay, so hello, Andrew. You talked about consistent practice when it comes to perfecting yourself or perfecting your craft as a developer. And I wanted to ask, if I'm a beginner, how many hours do you think it is healthy for me to, stay behind the PC trying to learn these codes each day? And how many of them is enough to get me there, say, in a year's time?
Okay. I think that, yeah, again, it depends on you, the individual, but I would say don't spend more than 8 hours in front of the screen. You'll get to a point where you'll hit burnout, and burnout is not a good thing, because once you get to that point, you'll start hating doing development. You'll just start hating everything to do with development. So I would say for me personally, I'd probably, if I was just a beginner again, I'll spend like 4 or 5 hours. But then it depends on you. I mean, if you're doing something that is fun, right, you don't even see how time goes by. So I would say try and work on projects that you feel that excite you, that you are interested in, so that it keeps you motivated and keep you going. And I think that will help with you being able to accomplish what you want within a year's time.
Yeah, Samira raised their hand.
Okay, today I'll be speaking on the texting. So I just wanted to ask, Andrew mentioned that we should do a lot of coding challenges and exercises. So do you have any resources you can share with us? Maybe a special website or an app that you use personally?
Yeah, so I normally use a website called Exercism, EXERCISM, and they have a lot of challenges in different languages. So if you're writing in Java, they have challenges in Java. They have also mentors on the platform, so you can either do it on your own, or you can take a track that's a mentorship track, where when you submit your solution, a mentor will look over it and give you feedback. So that's the one I normally recommend, and that's the one I use myself personally.
Okay. Please, can you, when you're free, can you type that the Exorcism app in the comments section?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I also have a question, and the question is about, where is the money in software development? Is it show us where the money is, please?
Where's the money? The money is everywhere. The money is everywhere. I don't think there's more. Well, there probably is more money in specific niches than others, but I'd say it's normally better to be a specialist in a certain aspect of software development than trying to be a jack of all trade to be able to get good paying jobs. You know, big companies like when you specialize in a particular part of technology and not just being someone who knows everything, right? So when you do that, you can command a lot more money.
Okay. This question will be a bit of a bit controversial. Do you think, as a newbie developer or an up and coming developer, you should focus on Android or iOS?
I don't know. If I answer this, I might get bashed by the Android people or the iOS people. I don't even know how to answer this one.
Yes.
But I'm gonna answer this based on something I saw today on Twitter. So this guy posted that he made an app that was on Android only, and in a whole year he got only $50 off the app. He then went and rewrote the app using Flutter, and he written it for both iOS and Android. And he made, how much was he making? I think it was something like $5,000 for the year. So I mean, I think that should answer the question without me answering the question.
Smart one. Yeah. I think this is it. We just leave it there. Like, we are done with the questions. Okay, someone raised their hand. Samira, last question, right? It better be about how to make money.
Okay, I'll leave the personal questions out. I have a more sensible question. Don't make me laugh. So I have a question about web app development versus mobile app development. Which one is, I mean, if somebody says they're a newbie developer and they would like to start in the basics, would you advise they start in web app development or begin in mobile app development?
I think it depends on what the person wants to achieve, where they want to end up working, or what projects they want to work on, because it's two completely different platforms, right? So I think if you're a person who enjoys working on stuff that's on the phone, then you should choose mobile development. I think you can choose either as a beginner, right? You can choose either one because there are beginning steps for both of them. So yeah, and with the languages being so diverse, as in it's being used in both mobile and web, you can learn something like Swift or Java, and you'd still be able to write something for web, right? Because Swift has a server-side part to it, so you can write websites with Swift as well. Same with Java. You know, Java's been used for many years building websites and web technology. So, I mean, either one you learn, you'll be fine switching at any point in time if you decided to. So I wouldn't suggest one over the other. I just say it depends on you, the individual, yet again.
Okay, I think we have covered everything. And unless you have some last final words to close us for this evening, we really appreciate your time and the effort you put in sharing. Samira, what's your question? It better be something strong.
Wait, I see that one. Is it the one in the chat?
Yes.
So Samir is asking, she said people hate Java for some reason. Why? It's probably the long history of Java being used in just enterprise application and having some long class names, maybe it's something around that. I don't know why exactly. I didn't start coding in Java or learning Java because it just looked scary to me at first. So I started just doing HTML and CSS. So I think it's down to the individual likings. I don't think everybody hates Java because I know there's plenty of people who love writing Java code.
Yeah. I have a friend, she's a big fan of Java, Patience. She's part of the Google developer groups.
Exactly. So
you can go all day all about Java and go non-stop. So Samira, you have a friend there too. So if you need help, she can help you. Okay, so Andrew, thank you so much for your time. Please, I'll let you wrap up, and then we can go on for today. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone for attending. You know, what do I want to leave you with? Always be willing to learn and ask questions. I think that and soft skills as well. You know, learn some soft skills. You know, it doesn't require to always have only hard skills where you know how to code or you know how to do it. Learn how to communicate well. Learn how to, you know, be a good person in the workplace. Yeah. Don't think because you're a manager or a senior person, you should treat the juniors or someone who's at the lower level below you in the work hierarchy different way worse than they should. You know, you shouldn't treat anybody bad. Treat someone how you'd want to be treated. So be a good candidate in the workplace. Next part is definitely join the Kraado program. Come and be a part. Let's learn together. Let's build stuff together. Let's get you to where you want to get to.